Checking. Oh my goodness. Checking. 1, 2, 3. Is that any better? Checking. 1, 2, 3. How's everyone doing? No sound. Okay. Okay. Thomas says we do have sound. I like it. I like it a lot. Raphael, how's it going? What up? What's everyone doing today? How are you guys? I'm going to zoom in here. I am in the great state of Austin, Texas today, or city. And I have actually some stuff I'm super excited to show you guys today, all about creative ways of using simpler and sampler in Ableton. Super excited. My favorite thing, one of my favorite things ever. So I think we'll jump in. We got more peeps coming in. So good to see everyone. So good. My favorite part of the week is being here with y'all. All right, let's just dive in and check out some cool, sweet stuff. All righty. Let me make it so you can actually see me. So I want to show you a couple ways that you can use your voice to do some really cool stuff, especially to do with making cues, risers, impacts. Let's get Ableton back. Hello. Sorry, everyone. And let me make sure you can see me. Come on. We got this, Ecamm. You and me together on this journey of making our overlays show. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so let's just talk about warping in general first. Like, what is warping? Why is Ableton awesome at it? Basically, we can drag in a bunch of stuff in different BPMs and press warp and get them all to play at the same tempo, but not sound super slowed down or super sped up. So that's like warping at its very basic level. But I want to show you guys some more crazy stuff we can do. Let's first start with this vocal riser. So I just recorded myself sounding crazy. Tell me if you guys are hearing this, because I am not hearing it. Something's up. Do 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 do. Texting Thomas, saying, "Can you help me, please?" Let's see if other stuff is playing. Let's see. Maybe it will let us play it over here. Let's check. Oh, you guys can hear it. that's cool. All right, I can't hear it. All right, we're gonna just do it this way. I got it. Okay, cool. So sorry that you just had to listen to that over and over again. Let's put it into a sampler. So the sampler is gonna let us do a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Sampler is like Simpler's big brother. And oh my gosh, it's still playing. Okay, cool. So in Sampler, I want to first look at this modulation tab because this allows us to do some things that we can't do in Simpler. One of which is map all these things to an LFO. So an LFO, low frequency oscillator, we think of it going whoa, 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 with like a synth, tremolo, vibrato are super common fixtures of an LFO. But here in the sampler, we can have the LFO map to things that we wouldn't normally think of mapping to an LFO. So let's first check out pitch, which is more of a normal thing to map it to. I'm going to take away loop start for now. And let's check out this.
We got lost in California, almost crashed into the garden. Couldn't help from laughing, all naked in the pool. The fortune teller's all forgot our names. We can see it all.
Okay, guys, sorry, it was just some broken headphones, which I guess just happens sometimes. Your headphones break. All right, how's everyone doing? Are we okay? I'm gonna get my face back. We're gonna be good to go. You guys are the best. Thanks for sticking around. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're so close. My face is coming. It's coming back soon. And it is here. All right. Broken headphones. I don't know how that happens, how they work 2 hours ago and they don't work now, but we're all good. Hey, Abe. What up? Thanks. Hey, Silent State. How's it going? Good to see you. All right, let's get back into this. Okay, so let's check out what that looked like with the pitch modulated. So it already sounds pretty cool. And because I'm using a sampler, I can play it on any note on my keyboard and it's going to change the pitch. Okay, so that's kind of like a first step and like a normal way of doing this. But what if we now try mapping the loop start? So I'm going to map this B button to the loop start. And I'm going to go back to my sample. And I'm going to make the loop super, super small. But I'm going to keep the end point at the end of the sample. And let's check out what happens. So that's kind of cool. Now, if I want to make it a little bit more pulsating, I could also change the rate here. I've also changed like the type. So this is more of like a riser kind of shape. I could change this to 16th notes. Let's go back and change it to something a little bit smaller. If I play it lower. And I can mess around with some of my release modes. And that all came from that crazy just initial vocal riser of me sounding horrible. So let's put it with a drum loop now. We're going spooky today. It's still Halloween to me. Did anyone dress up for Halloween? What'd you guys do? Tell me. I dressed up as an alligator, and my biggest pride was we had full-size candy. Gave away full-size candy bars in this house. Mark Morgan, what up? So good to see you here. We were just talking about mapping LFOs in sampler, making a vocal riser. William, hey. Oh, that's cool. You're doing the pro session. Sweet. I'm so glad you're liking it. Hey, Herb. How's it going? Thanks for being here. Oh my gosh. Ciao. Thanks for being here from Beijing. Amazing. Okay, so my drum loop. Let's get this happening. But let's just first hear how it sounds, and then I'll show you how I made it. So right away, also, I can hear this vocal riser is not really loud enough. So instead of turning it up, I'm going to drop a utility plug-in on it. That's a little bit better for turning up the volume or automating volume. So I'm going to go to utilities, drop utility on, and now I can adjust the gain and make it a lot better. Let's see. Okay, cool. So let me just play it with the drum loop now. Okay, kind of cool. So this drum loop, let me show you how it started. Where it started, where it's going. All right, so here's just the original drum loop. All right, I'm going to warp it, loop it. So what I did was this was at 82 BPM and I changed it to 164 BPM. So the funny thing with the segment BPM, which is right here, is if you increase this, it's going to slow down your sample. And the reason is, I think this can be confusing sometimes. Like our global BPM is up here. So if I'm saying, hey, my whole project is at 120 BPM. If I then go down here and say, hey, Ableton, I'm giving you this sample that's at 164, it's going to say, oh my God, I have to slow this down to play it at the correct global BPM. So that's why it's kind of, you just have to think of it in reverse. If you want to slow it down, then you got to have it at an increased segment BPM. So that's what I did for this. And because I wanted to get a spooky Halloween thing happening, looped it. And then one really cool thing you can do is layer your drum sample and warp it with two different warping algorithms. So this is with it warped at beats. And the reason I like beats for this is because I've slowed it down. Beats is like really good at preserving transients. So it's giving like all the little transients in between. It's really like bringing those out and making it sound kind of noisy and cool. But then what I did was duplicated this onto another track, exactly the same, but this time used repitch. So repitch is going to actually give us the repitch notes, but still play the sample at the correct speed. So let's check this one out. And then if we play them both together, drum beats. Hey, Martin. Yeah, it's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so another thing that's going on here is automating the transposition. So I'm going to get rid of this and then I'll show you guys again. So if we are here, we're looking at our sample, the waveform, like what the sample looks like. And then if we go to our envelopes, we can look at some cool ways to automate this. So here it is without the transposition. So if I go here to clip and transposition, and one tip is to use the pencil tool because it will automate on the grid. So I'm going to say, all right, I want this to be up an octave every time it plays. And let's check that up. Check that out. Let's see what happens if we bring it down. Okay, so kind of a cool way to create some noisy, glitchy effects. And the reason, by the way, that this is blue and not red, because you're probably used to seeing automation in red. Like if I go to my mixer here, this is all red. The reason is that you're actually changing parameters of the audio clip, which is different than the mixer. So let's go to the repitch. And on here, the only parameter, maybe we'll do transpose on this one as well. Back here. Okay, so that's kind of a fun way to start working with the stretching and transposing within samples. Next, what I want to do is I want to create a multi-sampler device. Where are these drum sounds from? Synth tanked. You know, this is actually an Ableton sound, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. 082 LD drum loop. I'm pretty sure I got it from samples. 082 LD. Yeah, it's here. That's what it used to sound like. So yeah, all we did is like take that, then put it in. I stretched the BPM to 164 so it's slowed down. And then one was warped with beats. The other was warped with repitch. And then just did some transposition in the envelopes. And we get a spooky sound. Wait, you guys still didn't tell me about your Halloween costumes. Or did I miss it? Did you guys get trick-or-treaters? I guess people are tuning in from all around the world, too. Maybe some people weren't doing Halloween. Actually, the vocal riser mark was in simpler. Okay, cool. So let's go back. And let's look at making a multi-sampler device. So Simpler, and by the way, you guys can get these in your instruments, Simpler and Sampler. So Simpler, let's just take a look for anyone who's not familiar with Simpler. So I'm going to just drag on I'll go into my samples and find something with a melody or something with like a tone on it. Not that. Maybe the woolly. All right, let's drag this in. So, oh, hang on. Let me put it on the wrong MIDI track. Okay. So you can put on your Simpler, or you can just set that in a preset. Let me go to my samples again. Oh no, I lost it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so by putting this into a Simpler, I've now basically put an audio sample into an instrument that is MIDI, because this is a MIDI track. So now if I play this, oh, and I solo it. So I can play it all at my keyboard, and it sounds really nice. This is classic mode. I can also go into slice mode and slice it up by transient, by beat, by region. I can adjust the sensitivity. So the big brother of Simpler is Sampler. So that's what I want to show you here. And the biggest things I use in Sampler is zones and the modulation tab that I showed you earlier. So let's now look at the zones tab. So I just recorded myself singing some E's, and I'll go over to arrangement view. They are very not good sounding, which is the point, to show you do not need to consider yourself a vocalist to do this. Oh, actually, here, I'll just play them here. So I'll play all of them. Let me play them a little bit higher. E, 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 Enigmatic Onion, what up? Good to see you. How are you? We always love our Enigmatic Onion in the mix. Mark Morgan, didn't dress up, ate Chinese American food, and went to the movies with my mom. That sounds actually like a pretty sick Halloween. All right, so I want to show you how we got from that to this. All right, so in this zones tab, we can drag in a bunch of different samples. So the reason to use different samples is that each, if you're especially something like a analog synth or your voice, each note has a little bit of a different characteristic. So instead of putting it into Simpler and just using that one note transposed on every key, if we have a bunch of different characteristics, it's just going to make for like a more interesting textured synth. So what you can do here in your zone tab, I started with this one. I'll delete these and we can start from the beginning. So I started with this one. This is my whole sample. And I said, okay, I'm just going to use the first E. And I'll turn off the reverb for now. Okay, cool. So what I also did was I tuned these samples. It's a lot easier to play these, especially as polyphonic chords, if you are tuning as you go. I think that's one of the biggest pitfalls of using samples is if you're not tuning, you can kind of end up with this mismatch. Is that how you say it? Mismatch. Someone let me know. Of like really like just a bunch of stuff that doesn't go together. It's in different keys. Mark Morgan, that is very, very kind of you. And Enigmatic Onion, this is our day to shine. Yeah, there are more capabilities. So there's, especially in the what you can map with the LFO and this whole thing with the zones tab. Okay, so we'll label this as E1. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this by doing Command C, Command Z. And I'll name this E2. Okay, so now I'm going to go here. And you can also, if you want to get a little bit more of a fine-tuned view, you can right-click and zoom in on played region. Cool. All right, so I'm going to solo this. Okay, so I am playing, right now I'm playing an F on my keyboard. But I'm getting an A showing up on the tuner. So I want to change this so that the note I'm playing is the note that is represented on the keyboard. So I need to go up. Okay, so now that's working. I try to get, so you can see like the tuner, it's not, it starts flat and then it goes sharp. I'm most concerned about what it is when the note is hitting. And I'm okay if this becomes a little out of tune. I'm also okay that it has a lot of noise on it because I'm going for a like detuned, noisy, white noisy kind of synth. But I see that it's a little sharp when it hits. So maybe we'll detune this a little bit more. Yeah. Overshot. Okay, that'll be okay for now. And let's do one more. E3. And I'm going to get that really crazy note. I think it was this one. Because I think that will be interesting to have in the sampler. Hey, Mystic Moth. Oh, thank you. It's mishmash. It's a mishmash. A motley assortment of things. What a lovely definition. I want a motley assortment of things. Okay. Whoa, sorry, that is very, very loud. Let's just do this now. So all these samples were recorded at different velocities. So one thing you can do is select all, right click and say normalize volumes. And then they'll all be at the same volume. So I'm going to just turn this down a little bit. Okay, cool. So let's go back here. Let's not detune it right now because we don't know what we're doing yet. Okay, so it's pretty in tune. All right, so if I leave all these zones how they are, then my synth is going to play each E together, which could be something you want to do. This is especially cool if you have like lots of textures and you want them all to make one instrument. That's cool. But in this case, what I want to do is split these up over the keyboard. And I'm going to actually make these ones fairly small so that I can get some of them in the same chord. Maybe even pull this up a little bit more. Let's see, there we go. And this one, I'm going to pull this whole thing. I'm going to pull this down an octave. Whoa. That went really crazy. Let's keep going. Okay. So now this is just going to be a more complex instrument. It will obviously sound better with some reverb for sure. And maybe we can continue to sort of mess with it, put some saturator on it just to make it not sound so obviously like a human voice. Put this before the reverb. Okay, cool. Nice, Mark Morgan. Yeah, I love sampling vocals. I also think it's just a super cool way if you're doing electronic music to bring in some of your own like unique signature and bring in just more humanness to it too. Wait, guys, is daylight savings today? I feel like I'm totally missing some really important thing. Someone tell me what time it is. I am now confused. Okay, cool. So let's go. We don't need to solo everything now. Okay. Turn these. Something is soloed. Everything is soloed. Okay, there we go. Let's get the drum loop going. Oh, I might have to up up the buffer side. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now we took all that audio and we have MIDI, which is a good thing because I really want to quantize it. Let's quantize it all the way. And let's, I'll just pick one. D. Oh, drag over the MIDI. Okay, then let's get that LFO we made. I'm just looking at you. Let's go, Enigmatic Onion. And you guys, this is an Ableton drum loop, so you can just get it and do the same thing. I've been trying to use more just Ableton stuff in these videos, so then you guys can just go grab it. Okay. What I wanted to get was the vocal riser. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Let's try putting some delay on it. Yeah, so anyone that wasn't here earlier, what we did with this was we put it, just me going, oh, just being crazy, put it into a sampler, and then in this LFO2 section, mapped the pitch and the loop start. So what the loop start is really fun. So I'm playing with how the loop is triggering with an LFO. And so that's why this loop is set so small, but the end point is all the way over here. All right, so let's see about putting this in our little song here. Okay, cool. I thought, it will be voice work, and in fact, you make such weird, interesting things. Yeah, I always like to make weird things. But we will do some. We'll keep touching on the singing. Yeah, we could change the LFO rate for sure. Slow it down. That might sound better. Let's try it. Okay, crazy. All right, so let's actually go back to this, because what's kind of bothering me still about it is that it sounds too, still sounds too much like a choir. So I think doing, let's drop an auto filter onto it. Let's see how this would. We gotta still mess with that riser, so let's turn that off for now. Yeah, I think that helps a lot. And just for kicks, let's put a little decapitator action on it. Please be nice, Ableton. I know the CPU is hard for you. Okay, and then I'm gonna go here and actually let's put the reverb last. Okay, and go here, and I want to do my auto filter. I can actually just shift tab and press frequency, which is what I want to mess with. So I'm going to do my pencil tool, and I'm going to just do every other beat. Oops. I'm not really making them perfect right now. And then I'm going to get out of the pencil tool, and I'm going to make these into ramps by just clicking on the dot. Okay, cool. Decapitator and punish button. Thanks, DJ Victor. It's all about that warp button. I know, I really have a problem. I just put it on everything. The other day, I just sent my entire mix to Decapitator. I made like a return track. Everyone likes weird things, guys. We are a family of people who like weird things. All right, let's get the Mr. Vocalizer. Let's put, I think, Filter Freak. Filter Freak is just a filter, but I find that it has more sort of like unique sounding filter options, EQ options. Let's see. Let's go through some of these. Wow, that is a weird thing. What? Enigmatic onion, me and you, match made in heaven. Totally. Is there anything else you guys want me to do to this before we stop? For the piece de resistance to our Halloween song. Oh my God. Okay. Powell K2. Where else do I know you from, Powell K2? I'm just looking at your picture. Tell me. Tell me where I know you from. All right. You guys let me know if there's anything else you want me to do this. Let's recap what we went over. So, first, just what is warping? Warping allows us to drag in lots of samples that are at different speeds and have them play in Ableton by just pressing warp. Like we're using a drum loop that was at 82. If you guys like the drum loop, it's just this one called 082LD in your samples in Ableton. And yeah, so warping is super creative, really fun. So with the drum loop, what I did was just warped it, stretched it out to 164, which is weird, I know, because we're making it faster, but we're telling Ableton, by making it faster, we're telling Ableton to make it slower because our global BPM is slower. So I dragged it out, made it twice as slow. Then I did different warping algorithms. So warped it at beats, then duplicated it and warped this at repitch, and then went into the envelopes and automated the transposition on the clip. Then for the vocalizer, sang a weird thing, put it into sampler, then went to modulation and used my LFO to map the pitch and the loop start and set the type to this more riser shape, change the speed to a quarter note. I think that was Simple Sam's suggestion. And then in the multi-sampler instrument, this allowed us to sing 3 different notes. And they don't all have to be the same instrument if you don't want. They could be totally different things. But that gives us the ability to make a synth that's more complex, has like different qualities when you're singing, especially you have different like tremolo and vibrato and attack on different notes. And so this gives us the option to make something super human and complex. And then, of course, we tuned the samples so that they'll play on a keyboard. And then we came up with a crazy thing. Kevin, maybe we were, yeah, I think that maybe that's what it was. We were out with the aliens in another reality. Ooh, reverse the vocals. That's a good idea. Let's try that. So go back in here and actually. Interesting. How do you know you've gone too far with experimental sounds? Yeah, I think it depends what you're trying to make. I think most of us are trying to make something that other people would hear and want to vibe with. So I usually use the experimental sounds as more of a there's 2 of me. As more of a like addition to more standard production. So have like most of my elements be more to like the pop spectrum, and then add some of this to add some more humanness to the sound. Yeah. Cool, guys. It's so good to see you all. And guys, it's November. Can you believe it? It's November 1st. My goodness. Thanks, Simple Sam. We'll keep doing those recaps. Well, it's amazing to see everyone, and I can't wait to hang with you guys next week. Thanks so much for stopping through. And definitely tune in for Tetro Talks tomorrow. Always a good time. And you guys are amazing. Thanks so much. Thanks, Martin King, Simple Sam, DJ Victor Nova, John H. Kingston, Powell K2, 343 Lads, Mod Scientist, Enigmatic Onion, all the lurkers. We love you too. You don't have to talk to be loved. Thomas from 343. You guys are awesome. All right, I'll see you guys soon, and check out Tetro Talks tomorrow.